Here are 5 interesting facts about Leicester Tigers Rugby Club. Leicester Tigers was formed in the year 1880. The club plays its home matches at Mattioli Woods, Welford Road Stadium, which has been their home since 1892. The team has been known as the Tigers since at least 1885, with the nickname originating from their striped kit. Leicester Tigers have won 21 major titles, including 2 European Championships, 2001 and 2002, and a record 11 English Championships. Leicester Tiger players were part of the England squad that won the 2003 Rugby World Cup, including the legendary captain Martin Johnson. Hello everyone, we have brought In the Meadows podcast to Leicester Tigers Rugby Club Stadium today, on the road. We are here today bringing you inspiring conversations with key features shaping our community. We are honoured to be joined by Andrea Pinchen, the CEO of Leicester Tigers. She is a leader of one of the most successful and historic rugby clubs in England. She will be telling us her journey from bottom to top. So sit back, relax and enjoy this insightful conversation with Andrea here today. We are actually here today inside the Leicester Tigers CEO's office in the stadium, and I'm very happy to welcome here Andrea Pinchen here today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in.
So I know, Andrea, you're a very busy woman, so we'll jump right into the questions. Can you tell us about your career path and what led you to become the CEO of Leicester Tigers?
Yeah, my career path with Tigers, I've been here about 21 years. And I started life as the ticket sales manager. So they wanted to create a proactive ticket office rather than just if the phone rang answering it. They wanted to make sure that every seat was sold for every game and that everyone got the opportunity to come and see a game and enjoy it with their family and have that experience. So that was the start of my career. And then I gradually worked my way through getting promotions and worked in corporate hospitality and then sponsorship sales and all on the commercial side. Then I got appointed to the board as the only woman on the board, remain the only woman on the board, so we need to change that. And get more diversity on the board. But was appointed to the board as commercial director and then became the chief operating officer, so I had a lot more involvement on the playing side. And then just at the beginning of the pandemic, when it got extremely difficult, I was promoted to CEO. So it was a really great experience for me. It was a really great acknowledgement of my career, but it was probably the most difficult time in the club's history to do it.
So now for question number 2. Leading a club with such rich history comes with great responsibility. What have been some of your biggest challenges during your time here?
I think that the biggest challenge, but I think that's not just pertaining to Leicester Tigers and rugby, would have been through the pandemic. It changed, didn't it? The world just completely changed and stopped for a lot of us. And for rugby and for all sport, it just dried up overnight. We weren't allowed to have people in. We still had to pay players and staff and keep everybody as much as we could employed. And unfortunately, we did have to go through some redundancies. We had to go through pay cuts and we had to talk to our people primarily over Zoom or Teams. So trying to impart really difficult messaging and really, hard messaging to say people's jobs were in jeopardy or we didn't know what would happen, and we're working alongside the Department of Culture, Media and Sport to see when we could open again and get fans in. So I think they were the most challenging times because in any business, in any organisation, and in particular in a club, where it does feel like a family, you want to be able to talk to people and look people in the eye and sit down face to face with them.
100%, yeah.
And it was so difficult not to be able to do that.
Yeah. And also, what have been your biggest achievements in this time here?
I think, we've certainly in my career, we've had quite a bit of silverware, which is really nice. Ultimately, we do so much work off the pitch, and there's so much that goes into it. And it's something that is really a release for all departments to be able to celebrate at the end of the season. That, you've got a trophy and you can, everybody can get together, everyone can just relax and enjoy some time together to really kind of appreciate what everybody's done.
Yeah. How do you see the club evolving in future years, both on and off the field?
So on the field, the game is evolving. We've gone down in the amount of teams we have in a league, which means less games within the Premiership for us. And that's something I think we need to look at. We probably just need to look at the number and see whether we've got that quite right, because I don't think we have got the balance quite right. But that's part of a bigger piece. And certainly off the pitch for us, it's we're next season having a new head coach. Who very much believes, along with the board and myself, about the community and the wider piece of Leicester and Leicestershire. And that for us, yes, we're Leicester Tigers, yes, we're a professional rugby club, but it's so much more about what we can do with the community and achieve together, and sort of go out to various different communities and say, this is something that's available to everybody. This is something that anyone can be part of if you want to. Yeah. And to try and reduce some of those barriers to, I don't really know rugby, or I don't play rugby. And it doesn't have to be about that. There's so many other jobs within the sport, and there's also so many other kind of attributes to being part of it. And real, all of our objectives is all really about getting that community piece aligned with us and doing something for the community to bring us all together. Yeah.
As a female CEO in an often male-dominated industry, what advice would you give to young women aspiring to have these leadership roles?
I think that anybody can be anything that you want to be. And I think the advice I would give is that sometimes the barriers are internal. So a lot of what I think we feel, especially as women and younger girls, is this level of imposter syndrome. I'm not sure I can do that. Should I put myself forward? And having that self-doubt. And that's what I would say is don't doubt yourself. If you want something, go for it, and you will find a way to achieve it. And I think, I've been very lucky to be part of a mentoring scheme for young women starting in business. And I think that's also really important, that women support women as well, and show them that there are opportunities there.
Yeah. Leicester Tigers has strong links with the grassroots rugby and local communities. How important is this aspect to the club, and what features are in place to support young talent?
So the way we look at our community initiatives and our foundation and where we work within the city and the county is fundamentally saying to people, come and be a part of this club. You don't have to play rugby, you don't have to understand rugby, but the values that rugby has is really family values and aligned. And, come and have a good time, whether you're sitting with all different generations of your family. It's a safe environment, it's a welcoming environment, and have fun together. And try something new. And it's not for the elite, and it's not for just this group of people. It's we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our community supporting us, and we feel very strongly that we want the community to not only support us, but for us to support them as well, and really be part of the Tigers family together. So with regards to players, it's great that we can go out within our own community and identify that talent and bring people through and introduce them to our academy and maybe even introduce them to local junior clubs where people would never have thought of playing rugby or watching it or working in it. You know, so somebody wants to come and be the CEO of a sports club one day, then why can't you? And if it's rugby and you don't understand rugby, that's also fine, because you can learn. So that's our point, really.
Well, thank you so much for having us here today, and it's been an honour to be with you and to talk to you today. So,
likewise, it's been lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming in.
If you enjoyed this episode, remember, you can buy a ticket for a Leicester Tigers game. Our school link with Leicester Tigers means you can get a discount via the code in the newsletter. That brings us to the end of an incredible conversation with Andrea Pinchen today. We have learned so much about the future of Leicester Tigers and the importance of community sport. A huge thank you to Andrea for sharing her journey with us. In the Meadows podcast, we'd like to thank Andrea Pinchen and her team at Leicester Tigers for making us feel welcome at your ground. Thank you!